Moeletsi Mbeki is the younger brother of the former South African president and ANC leader Thabo Mbeki. But in his new book, Mr. Mbeki, a political analyst and business entrepreneur, accuses the political elites of sub-Saharan African countries of failing their people and creating greater inequality between the black ruling class and the mass population.
This growing inequality amongst the blacks and the deindustrialization and the lack of investment that is happening in our economy and the diversion of resources to the new black elite, what this is creating is now the social conflict amongst the blacks in South Africa, especially between the political elite who control the state and the mass of the black urban, in particular the mass of the black urban population.
In his book, The Architects of Poverty, Mr. Mbeki accuses the ANC government in his native South Africa of allowing corruption and cronyism to thrive.
I wouldn't say I'm disillusioned. I would say I disagree with what the ANC government is doing in allowing corruption to, and providing the environment. It's not so much allowing corruption, but allowing the development of an environment that makes corruption possible. For example, the ANC government allows a civil servant to own his or her private company while working for the government and to tender for government contracts while employed by the government. Now, this is a recipe for corruption.
Mr. Mbeki argues that a failure of leadership is creating growing conflict within societies like that of South Africa.
We had an army on a rampage only 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we are having conflict in South Africa. Almost every day you are seeing poor people blockading trunk roads, in running battles with the police because they feel that their interests are not being looked after. So we are going back to a conflict environment. So it is important that the government must do something to address the issues that the people are complaining about.
And in short, what should the government then be doing to avoid failing their people?
Well, the government's focus must not be on the middle class. The government's focus must be on the development of the economy. At the moment, what the South African government is doing is taking the resources from the economy to the consumption of the middle class and to buy off the vote of the poor and to social grants. These funds should go into investment to create jobs, to support entrepreneurs. That is the only long-term viable solution to the social and economic problems of South Africa. Eating up our savings will not solve our problems.
But Mr. Mbeki argues the situation is not without hope, provided African governments can channel funds into investment and development for the future.
Well, I'm glad I was told not to read my speech.